Ratio Christi aims to develop thoughtful Christians in the next generation. The first part of Ratio Christi's vision is thoughtful Christianity. When you hear the expression, "she is a very thoughtful person," you're apt to think of her as a compassionate and considerate person. But thoughtful also represents being rational and reflective. Our vision of thoughtful Christianity contains a double meaning intentionally. We aim to cultivate both the heart and the head, which together influence the hands. The integrated Christian exhibits the head, heart, and hands of Christ. The Christian world and life view isn't one that bifurcates faith and reason, faith and life, faith and vocation. There is no separation between sacred and secular. This disintegrated picture isn't Christian. The Christian thinks about integrity, not so much integrity as the virtue which brings to mind a person of honesty or something like that. Rather, it integrates all of life. We seek to reach professors and students not only with the gospel, but also to get them thinking more holistically about their calling. With respect to professors, for example, we seek to move professors from being professors who just happen to be Christians to developing a movement of missional professors. Sometimes people get nervous when we start thinking this way. One professor might be apt to reply, "So you want me to replace Physics 101 with John 3:16 every day and in every way?" No, that would be derelict of duty. Jesus wouldn't do that if Jesus were hired to train someone to be a physicist. But to pretend that he wouldn't think about integration in this question is just silly. This goes beyond merely being a morally virtuous professor. We begin with this question. If Jesus had as his mission in life not to go to the cross, but instead to do your job, and he had your background, training, and calling, he could do it. Jesus isn't just good, he's smart. The question is, how would he do your job just a bit differently? There is always room here for the Christian to improve when we reorient our thinking. That is, it fundamentally subverts the notion of an occupation in favor of a vocation or a job in favor of a calling, hence vocational integration. But do you see what this does? This line of thinking transcends the vocation of the professor and it extends it to the professional, and so it's relevant for everyone. Professors who train their Christian students especially should be getting students to think this way, to think as fully developed apprentices of Jesus. Now, with respect to students, then, we want them to aspire to greatness by the end of their time with us. We give away senior awards called Ratio Christi awards, which means in Latin, Ambassador of Christ. These legacy-building awards can be summed up in 4 core values. 1, academic rigor, someone who has pursued God with their mind. 2, demonstrated and integrated Christ-like character. Again, we don't want someone only loving God with their mind. We want them loving God with their heart so deeply that it is transformative. 3, enthusiastic evangelism. They engage others with compassion and respect. Someone claiming to have good news, the best news, and yet doesn't share it can hardly be said to believe that the good news is really all that good. And 4, willing and able to teach others, which leads to exponential impact by reproducing these qualities. Ratio Christi envisions thoughtful Christianity.